Here we are at Ourimbah campus, and this campus has served the Central Coast really well for 25 years or more. It houses the University of Newcastle and the Hunter TAFE Institute, great institutions that have helped our region bubble along for those 25 years, trained many people. And of course the Newcastle University has been fantastic for the Central Coast. It's invested and helped so many people grow. And it houses an innovative campus of the University of Newcastle, the Hunter TAFE, as well as the Community College and a series of small business support units and other research institutions. It's a good mix. It's a mix that started well over 20 years ago, 30 years ago here. But you'll notice the participants here at the campus, it's the University of Newcastle, the Hunter Technical and Further Education Institute. These are not our institutes. An interesting history is the University of Newcastle celebrates Autonomy Day, when they broke away from the University of New South Wales back in the 60s. They celebrate it every August. At that time, Newcastle only had a population of a little over 240,000 people, and yet the Central Coast has well over 340,000 people, and we don't have our own tertiary institution. I'm here to pitch and insist that we need our own Central Coast based, run and operated university. It's time for that to happen. Also, we need our own Technical and Further Education Institute. A Central Coast Institute of TAFE would do wonders for our local industry, training people here locally, not having to get on the trains and in the cars to go to Newcastle or down to Ryde or Hornsby. This is where industry is developed, and this is where we should assert ourselves. We are the 9th largest region in Australia, and the only region of that size without our own tertiary institution. Canberra has 3 tertiary institutions, and yet it is approximately the same size as the Central Coast. Tasmania has 2 tertiary institutions. Northern Territory and likewise. We are the only region of our size without a proper tertiary institution, and it's important. If we aspire to become a smart city region, we need smart people. We need research. Research leads to investment. Investment leads to proper jobs, well-paying jobs, which builds more industry and builds family incomes. It also builds the smarts that we need. The smarts to defend from the Sydney overflow, the smarts to defend from speculative oil and gas and coal exploration in a desperate way to prop up our economy. The jobs of the future are digitally leveraged jobs. They're social jobs, they're caring jobs, and all of these industries should be developed here on the Central Coast. So my appeal to become a smart region is we need our own tertiary institutions. First and foremost, a Central Coast Institute of, let's call it, arts and technology here on the Central Coast. We also need, within a few years, to have our own university, aspire to greatness, build our industries, supply our families with proper education, both undergraduate and postgraduate education. Doing this would make the Central Coast bloom. It's time for change, and change is possible. Get behind my campaign, which will get behind a winning plan for the Central Coast, a winning plan for the families and businesses here today.
Authorised by David Abrahams, Kilcairn, New South Wales, independent candidate for the seat of Robertson.